one set of footprints. Just know he carried the load. Won't leave you forsaken, judge it when you're feeling like hope is gone. See, you tried it your way, but it didn't work. Quit making your own way. Gotta put Jesus first. Stop taking the wrong way to leave off this earth. Look, God is the strong way, so you must know your worth.
On Elevated Mindset, the podcast.
But first, message.
Hello, this is Yvonne. Hello.
It's your girl, Miss Flawless. It's your girl,
Hello. This is Dee. Hello.
From Elevated Mindset.
Elevated Mindset, the podcast.
Thank you for subscribing, sharing, and watching.
On this week's episode.
So my granddaddy said you're supposed to have a wife and a girlfriend. It'll make you treat your wife better out of guilt and shame.
First of all, no, sir. No, absolutely not.
He has sincerely been generationally cursed, as we speak about a lot of.
Wow. But this is a mindset of a lot of men.
Hip-hop music has evolved over the years, but lately we have seen it take a plummet.
I don't even think it's a fair fight, you know? First of all, let me say that. I don't even
It's like, you know, the whole I'll wet you up, I'll shoot up your block.
My rap name is capital R, lowercase I, uppercase A, and the real purpose of this name is the real industry anomaly.
Also on this week's episode.
Definitely a very, very sad statistic.
Is just astounding, especially for Black and brown people.
Oh my goodness. That is a very sad statistic for the state of Georgia.
Here again, wow, we're getting into some pretty deep stuff.
And counting down 3, 2, 1. Hey, it's that time again, guys. We hope you guys are ready for some intelligent discussion. Amplified. Let's give it up for 1/3 of the Elevated Mindset podcast. Miss Shan, aka Flawless of the SYA firm. All right. Also for 2/3 of the Elevated Mindset podcast, Yvonne, the Cheddar Getter Smith of MyBrilliantConcepts.com. And last but definitely not least, the diva herself, D of ARG Realty Group. Y'all, let's go. Buckle up. Get ready for another ride, another highly intelligent discussion and amplified episode of Elevated Mindset, the podcast. Who's ready to set it straight? Who's ready to talk about topics up for debate? See, you can't rehearse this. We ain't talking purses. We're talking about breaking those generational curses. For us ladies, it's urgent. Babies running to surgeons.
Come on. Yeah. I'm flawless. Yo, Pastor Troy. Hey, yo. You know what? There's a lot of folks be coming out their grill. They fake. They ain't never keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? None they ever spitting this trill. I say we make them pay. Hey, yo. What you think? You with this? You ready? Let's go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Elevated Mindset, the podcast where we have highly intelligent discussion amplified on a regular basis. Tonight, me and the ladies are going to be picking apart some of the most interesting reels that we find interesting enough to evoke or provoke us to have a discussion or maybe even a debate about it. And we want to share that with you tonight. So we're going to do that. We're also going to discuss the main meat of our podcast on tonight. Hey, everybody.
All right, guys, be sure to take advantage of the Walmart Local Community Grant. This grant is awarded through an open application process, and it provides funding directly from Walmart and Sam's Club facilities to local organizations throughout the U.S. If you do not know if your facility or organization qualifies, don't worry about that. The application process itself will assist you in knowing that. So make sure you take advantage of the Walmart Local Community Grants. Number 2, another one to take advantage of in 2024, the Amber Grant Foundation. This is a phenomenal grant for more reasons than one. One of the very first online organizations to give women-owned business grants. As a matter of fact, you want to take advantage of this. This happens monthly. They give 10 finalists $10,000. That's monthly. Their judges review your grants, and then they pick out the finalists. You want to take advantage of this. This is a great grant that you want to take advantage of. The Amber Grant Foundation. Number 3, the I Fund Women Universal Grant is known to be the go-to funding platform for women entrepreneurs. It provides access to capital, the crowdfunding and business grants, and expert startup coaching. That's a great thing. So you want to take advantage of the I Fund Women Universal Grant. What me and the ladies are speaking about in general, we're talking about rap and hip hop because we do not look at them as one and the same. We're talking about the evolution of it as well as the decline. So we wanted to speak with RIA because of the fact that he is in the new, what we call like another genre than we were growing up. Hip hop has totally changed. It's evolved. It has totally switched over. And some of our opinion, we think for the worse. It's some stuff that you can still listen to, but for the most part, from the time we came. But one of the questions I want to ask you, and I'm gonna let the ladies chime in too. What is the first hip hop or rap song that you can remember? Because you're in a whole different age bracket than we are.
I know who this artist is. He's like an unknown artist, and if you do, then that's awesome. But his name is XXXTentacion.
I do know who that is.
The very first song I can remember him doing was "Look at Me." That's his most viral song, and you know that's the first song that comes to my head when you ask me a question like that. If you're asking me like the first one that comes to my head, now you talk about the very first song I can remember listening to. Of course, is like Lil Wayne something. I can't remember the song, but I know it's Lil Wayne.
That's and what Lil I meant. Something that was impressionable. Something that you know, you was like, hey, this is hip hop, or this is So okay, so look, I can't say his name, but I know who you're talking about, the triple X guy. XXX Testosterone. I don't want to mess his name up. And Lil Wayne. So we'll take those two. So that was a whole, like I said, that era was after, but we watched Lil Wayne grow up. So that's a whole nother story. But we wanted to talk about hip hop because hip hop has definitely took a different turn. I don't know what your take is on that, but hip hop, it had. Now, I actually have had the privilege of listening to a lot of your songs. I don't just have you on here. And RIA, let's be clear, RIA said he is the anomaly because he self-made, he making things happen for himself, and he's very talented. I've listened to a lot of his music. We're gonna play some of it on here so you guys can take a listen to his music. And I feel like your music.
All of my pockets, hidden temple, that's where I place deposits. Keep it simple, keep a stick in the box. I've been writing, bumping, writing, I'm audited. Painting pictures, I'm an artist, I'm goated, I know it. Wear a crown, spit fire like legend poet. Keep it going and going. Bitch overdose on my love and I know it. Exposing you niggas not real and you know it. Put me in the field and I'll show you I know how to keep it going. Enter my experience, I'm overflowing, overshowing, bitch, when I'm done. I'm stunning on you. Yeah. Drip on me, drip to my feet. Stunning on you, gotta dim my light. Two on me, BBS diamonds gonna shine so bright. You and me, baby, come on, let's ride tonight. Walking down the street, spit fire tonight. Looking through the people through the candlelight. I did it again and again and again and again and again and again with my brothers. Did it again, I'm a stunner. Drip from Calabasas, running from the masses. Can't forget the traction, bitch, leave it's automatic, didn't you know?
So there's authenticity in being your raw, authentic self, right? And when you're making music as a young person, sometimes the goal isn't to be spiritually in tune or lyrically there all the time. Sometimes, in being in the creative process, like as a whole, when it comes to making music, sometimes the goal is to just have fun and say what you're absolutely feeling. And
my point is, I definitely get that. I actually love the diversity. So everybody who not really into music, like that's their first choice of turning on rap music, they're not gonna look at it in that way anyway because it's not on their list. But I totally get. I like where it went with diversity. I love that. Like with some of the stuff, the singing, I like it. But the problem I have is everybody want to be magnets. Then you have 12 people that want to sound alike. And so that's why what you said was so ideal to me because you're putting yourself in your own lane and in your own box. It's too many people that want to sound like each other. Then you trying to figure out, well, is that such and such because it sounds just like them, right? So they do a lot of that. But the diversity in the culture is a good thing. What I think is bad is all the negative influence, all the stuff that people saying and they want to put somebody and smoke them in a pack. And, because music is influential. That's how a lot of people was born off music. See, people don't think that, but even hip hop is influential. People follow fast, so that's why I tell people when you got a platform, you just got to be careful how you use it. That's my opinion. What are your thoughts on it, Yvonne?
Well, I that it's interesting you brought up diversity, because I think excuse me, when hip hop first started, it was diverse. You know, no two rappers sounded alike. It was different styles. It was different musicality. It was integrated with dance. That's where we came from culturally. But then rap evolved. To me, I kind of dissect them in that hip hop is the culture, rap is the categories, because you can have these separate rap categories, right? That people, because even country people trying to rap, you know. So
Yeah.
So like, yeah, okay, so you can rap ABC 1, 2, 3, whatever. But I think as the originators of this culture of hip hop and where we are today, I think it really struggles with real diversity. Because I think they created a template over the last 10, 15 years of what a rapper is, what a male rapper raps about, and the little bit they let the females come through, what a female rapper gets to rap about and look like. And everybody sounds the same. Everybody look the same. You know, it's the same thing. So I think it's a good thing for artists like Realist in Action or the Real Industry Anomaly to come and be their own enigma, their own authentic, organic self. Because I mean, that's real. That's a frequency that people can tap into and that people are living.
Fuck you, Ma.
What? Get out of my house!
Oh, is that what you want, Ma?
Get out! You don't talk to me that way!
Get out of my house, fucker, and take your friend with you.
Get the fuck out of my house! Are you serious? Get this shit!
Yeah, I finally made it back.
Are you fucking crazy?
I can't find the email. Where are you from?
Characters that was inherent of hip hop was authenticity.
Right. Because certain artists that you hear, you automatically know who it is, hands down, right?
Yeah. And
it's no question.
It's in their message. They had an authentic message. It wasn't like I'm telling you this lie, I'm creating this story that's so far-fetched from my life, and I'm selling you this, you know, this swampland in Florida about, you know, I'm so gangster, I'm so hard, or whatever they're selling. But I think, you know, today we're really starving for people that are really telling authentic stories and really bringing back artistry to it, and not just, I want to sound real slick, but there's nothing else to it. There's no real talent under it. Then what's the recipe? Oh, I just need to say this, I need to put this on and get this kind of beat, you know, and that's it.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I think. What about you, Dee?
Certainly agree with everything that you said. I agree with everything that Flawless said. And RIA, I absolutely agree with you. My thing with the diversity and the self-expression, there are different ways that you can self-express, you know, and some of those ways that you self-express, it gets into where it influences other people, like Yvonne said. And, you know, when people are young and impressionable and they're listening to rap music, because I think, like we said earlier, hip hop is one thing, rap is another thing. And you guys know that I'm not huge into the rap music. Now, the old school rap, Sugar Hill Gang, you know, Run DMC, you know, that was my thing, because that was hip hop to me. When it got into rap, like the Lil Wayne, Juvenile. Now, Juvenile, I can rock with. I like Juvenile.
That was the beginning of the switchovers.
Right, exactly. That was the beginning of the transition from hip hop to rap, as you know, Kool Moe Dee and all as they got older, and you know, they started to slide back a little bit. And, Flawless for me was hip hop because there was truly a message in everything
Hey,
that was
Flawless.
said. There was a message in love. There was a message in movement, how people move, how people operate. And then there was also spirituality in it. So yeah, that is what I call hip hop. Now this rap thing where everybody want to bloody up somebody's t-shirt and, take their girl and murder, all these other things, that right there to me, it goes too far. So IRA, I can appreciate that you are your own, like, Yvonne said, your own organic self. And hopefully people will latch on to that and, take a lesson in that, not to sound like you, but the road where they can be their true authentic self and make themselves, an anomaly, because everybody sounds the same and don't nobody want to hear that.
So my granddaddy said you're supposed to have a wife and a girlfriend. It'll make you treat your wife better out of guilt and shame. So when you're going home from your other woman, how you feeling so shame and guilty, you trying to think of all the good things to come home and do for your wife. So you come in with roses. Hey, baby, I got you some roses. Look, baby, I got you these motherfucking bouquet of flowers. It's made out of money. So you gonna do all you trying to think out. Kobe came with a $6 million ring when he got caught. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. It's just the nature of a man. Mm-hmm. And I'm a man. In every aspect that I try to be.
No, trust me, I can tell that you're a man.
Okay, bro. And Charleston White is just exposing that low-level frequency when it comes to relationship, when it comes to marriage, right? Because, these men have this idea that they're entitled to their sexual whims and their whims have to be fulfilled. So there's a certain level of immaturity there in that justification also. But, hopefully, we're evolving and realizing as the results of all the trauma that comes out of those type of situations, right? Some of us think that we've grown enough and we're big enough to handle those things, right? Coming from the women perspective, that's what they're looking for. Oh, I don't want the hassle of, so let me find a married man. That sounds good to somebody somewhere. But in practice, it don't age well. It really don't. I've seen the end of the story and it don't age well. And on the other side, men who think, well, because I make $5 million a year, that because I've amassed all of this stuff that I'm entitled and I can do and manipulate, that don't age well either. So I think, it behooves a thinking person, an evolved person, a mature person, an emotionally mature person to realize you can't do people like that. You can't do women like that. You can't do men like that. You can't be all the way in.
He's carrying a lot of curses around with him that he actually think are jewels that someone dropped on him. There's a difference between things that you are taught, whether you're given those jewels or that that passed on information from, as Dee said, an aunt, dad, mother, wherever it comes from. You have to know the difference between whether or not somebody is giving you a curse, passing on a curse, or actually passing you on a jewel. In this case, I think he's carrying around a whole lot of generational curses. His beliefs are so warped, and it's a lot of people that think that way. A lot of men and women that think that way. And he's doing things like giving gifts, makeup gifts for things that I do to hurt my wife, that I'm doing good. He used Kobe Bryant as an example. That's not going to fly, and everybody is not even in a position to take on two situations. Hello. So to think that way is absolutely ludicrous. It's crazy. It lets you know that you are not a person that should even enter into a section with another person, taking those vows in front of the Lord to say what you're going to do when you have ulterior motives besides just getting married. So as I said, some of you people can't even afford to be in two lanes, yet you're trying to be in 2 and 3 of them. It's sickening. And it's just sad. It's immoral and unethical all the way around. Commit and take up somebody's time. To me personally, if you want to be single, just be out here and be single and completely free to do whatever it is that you want to do. and not take up anybody else's time, hinder them in whatever way whatsoever. So that's my whole take on it. Be free, be a whoremonger, be a whore, be whatever it is that you want to be. But if you're going to be committed and in a relationship with somebody and take that vow, then stand true to that and do everything that it takes to make that work. Because as D said, you don't need somebody else on the side, because he said, once you get married, they don't care about pleasing you anymore. Well, if you took more time to work on your marriage and have some communication about what it would take to please you and vice versa, versus going over there and running to your side chick and buying her extra things and getting her to do everything in the world and bringing that back home to your wife at some point in time, then maybe you can work on a good marriage, a good successful marriage that can totally and completely rejuvenate itself over time. So give that some thought instead of thinking that you have to be in a marriage and have a side chick with your income. And that's for most of you. So yeah, very warped way of thinking, and it's
sounds like he has some kind of issue with himself. I just, there is no way I agree with that. So whether his granddaddy told him that, his granddaddy's granddaddy, whomever told him that, that is absolutely not true. You do not have to have a chick on the side that you're sexing and taking care of just to treat your wife better. You treat your wife better because she's your wife and you married her for a reason. So you treat her as such. Sounds like, and I think that misperception is the issue with relationships now. So let's not fall into that trap of, you marry for security or money or whatever. Because if you don't marry somebody because you love them and you guys are going to work together towards money and security and building wealth and your fortune and your family and all that, then you are not going to treat them right. And I think that misperception is the issue with relationships now. So let's not fall into that trap of, you marry for security or money or whatever. Because if you don't marry somebody because you love them and you guys are going to work together towards money and security and building wealth and your fortune and your family and all that, then you are not going to treat them right. And I think that misperception is the issue with relationships now. So let's not fall into that trap of, you marry for security or money or whatever. Because if you don't marry somebody because you love them and you guys are going to work together towards money and security and building wealth and your fortune.
And if you're not going to be all the way in, like you said, Shan, be single and put it out there how you moving, or else move around.
And it's not that they have to, because every individual, that's where the word comes from, suffer in silence. See, we used to search. Did you know that some of the strongest people suffer in silence?
I agree.
Some of the strongest people that you may know suffer in silence. Did you know that some of the strongest people... See, that's why I absolutely love J. Cole, which is one of my top 5 rap artists. And out of the many songs that he has that I love, one of them is called Love Yours.
That's true.
There's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. So you have to learn to love yours. Remember that comparison is the thief of joy.
I agree.
Because you have to remember it's not about the measure. It's about the moment.
Facts.
You have to remember to elevate your mindset on a daily basis so you can stay focused on that.
It's surprising to me that a country that is so rich in so many things, that the infant mortality rate is just astounding, especially for Black and brown people. And Georgia ranks among one of the worst in the world for infant mortality rates. And, of course, the leader of the pack in infant mortality are Black babies. And yes, we have to advocate for our own selves, our own health care, and our own body. Nobody knows your body like you. So when you feel like something is wrong, and don't let anybody tell you that it's not. And, we don't have access to the same information, the same health care that our counterparts have, no matter what our status is, our socioeconomic status. Sometimes that doesn't tend to matter because, of the color of our skin, just to put it out there. We're not heard, we're not listened to. So when you feel like something is wrong and you're pushing, keep pushing. Don't take no for an answer when you know something doesn't feel right. You would rather err on the side of caution and nothing be wrong than something to be wrong and you stay silent. So, with Georgia leading the pack in infant mortality rates, we definitely have to be cognizant because they're going to continue to try to pass laws that makes it harder. It would have been a little bit better had Georgia been one of the states to extend Medicaid. That would have helped some of the lower income families to get better health care because they would have the insurance that they need, with Medicare providing coverage for the pregnant mother and the baby so they can get, the prenatal care that they need. Because a lot of times what goes on with the mother contributes to low birth weights with babies. And that's one of the major reasons why there's infant mortality. Low birth weights because the mother is not getting the care they need. So yes, you definitely need to pay attention to the politics, be mindful of who we're putting in office, and don't just because they're a certain color or they affiliate with a certain party. You have to dig a lot deeper than that and see, how does this person represent me? How do they represent my community? What are they advocating for on our parts? So it's going to take a concerted effort to make some changes. And, you have to start with yourself by just being mindful of who you're electing. And even if you're not voting, you probably want to start doing that so that you'll have a say in who is representing you and who's advocating for you. So yes, it's definitely problematic, and hopefully, we can do some things to help turn it around.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is a very sad statistic for the state of Georgia. It's a very alarming number to think, that, Black birth rates are so low, or the mortality rates are so high. I think that's more appropriately stated. But I think not just that, I think across the board, just the quality of our healthcare, it leaves much to be desired, and it's just a historical thing that we have been failed very often by the U.S. healthcare system. And I think especially in the state of Georgia, what I think enables the numbers to be so poor for the state of Georgia, the fact that they closed some crucial hospitals in the metro area, like major. It's incredible to think that they even got away with doing that. But even beyond that, I think that our healthcare as Black people is very, very challenged. And I think that's a major reason for us to make sure that we lean into the political process, that these elected officials that we have representing us, that we make sure we hold them accountable. We make sure that we own our voice, that we know what we want, we know what we need, and we advocate for them, and we apply pressure. I think, that kind of awareness that, our mortality rates are so high would behoove us to roll our sleeves up and get involved. That doesn't take some type of certification or qualification or credit score or advanced degree, PhD, master, or bachelor or associates or high school diploma. It doesn't take any of those. You know, you got to show up and be a critical thinker, be able to read, be able to show up, be able to articulate yourself in a way that conveys what your concerns are about your community, right? I think that's one of the ways that we do that, and we have to, because when we don't show up, these things continue to happen to us and expand and get worse. So it's shame on Georgia. That's all I can say is shame on Georgia. Shame on the U.S.
Yes, she's got a way. She's got a way with words. Yes, she's got a way with words.
Crystal and Pearl Chanel. Check me out, y'all. And I got my legacies on. Can y'all see that? Beautiful. I'm sparkling, y'all. You can get sparkle too. Hit me up.
An elevated mindset is an empowered state of higher thinking which ultimately shapes how you make sense of the world and yourself. The influence of how you think, act, and feel in any given situation is an impact of one's success or failure. So always operate with an elevated mindset.
We all know in our minds that there ought to be a time that we can set aside to show just how much we love you. And I'm sure you would agree, what could fit more perfectly than to have a world party on the day you came to be. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Who's ready to elevate? Who's ready to set it straight? Who's ready to talk about topics up for debate? See, you can't rehearse this. We ain't talking purses. We're talking about breaking those generational curses. For us, ladies, it's urgent. Babies running to surgeons, wanting fixed in a hurry. In the fog, they're blurry. Men keeping us worried. Tables are topsy-turvy. Wanting ladies to save them and ladies to mess.
And I set you apart.